Hey, y'all. Welcome to this week's episode of Ducking Reality. In the pond today with me is Stevie!
You're welcome.
So Stevie Lofgren is... Stevie, I think you are my best friend on the island. Do you know that?
Start. I love it.
Like, I probably spend more time with you than anyone else on this island. And I have for the last, 3 years.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
I know. I'm sorry. You got to deal with me at least a couple nights a week.
Yeah, you're hard to keep up with, so it's more on my side. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I do. I'm trying to get better about not working so much. I'm just hanging out.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible to myself. But so just to bring all of our listeners up to date. Here, first, cheers.
Oh.
We should.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do a shot. Get you settled in. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
So we started working together not long after I kind of moved to the island.
Yeah.
And then we started spending a lot of time together just from the nature of work and hanging out. And we also both have similar senses of humor.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we both come from kind of rough places, so...
Yeah, and you're like...
The defense mechanism, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because you would tell me stories... Like, you and Theo were probably the two first people on the island that I started opening up to about stuff and would, trade stories with. Because it felt, safe. It felt like you... I'm like, fuck, you guys, your lives are crazy.
Well, we were there. It's funny. We were there in Oakland at the same time during those kind of rough spots. We never met each other, but we had very similar situations, and we had people in common for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you had to... Because... When you guys start telling each other stories, it sounds like you guys just missed each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Events
almost the same age, and yeah. So like I said, we definitely had people in common. Oakland's a small town when you're in it,
especially when you're the white dudes.
Well, yeah, that was Not saying there was white guy meetings, but
That's a different
whole different story.
That's what was that Stockton or Fremont? No,
I never went where the white people are. So I don't know what they do.
I have no idea. I don't even know them.
To check my membership status, I might might be expired.
You're not invited to that cookout.
That's okay. I don't like raisins that much.
Me neither. But yeah, it's you guys would tell me stories, and I would be shocked at your stories. Because you grew up in a very different way than I did. And then, I would say something and you'd be like, seriously? And you would be shocked and I'd be like, that's not nearly as bad as yours.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's just different.
But, when you're venting, those weird, puckering situations, you're like, oh, this would go bad really quickly. And then it doesn't. And you're like, oh, that's because overall people tend to take care of each other, especially if you're from small neighborhoods and, everybody knows each other and that kind of thing. But there was some bad folks out there,
right? Yeah.
At the same time. Well,
there used to be a code on the street, right? You didn't rob from your neighbors, you didn't fuck with the people that lived next door to you,
right? And it was there, but at the same time, it wasn't a lot of. There was violence for sure, but not crazy random violence like people would think. Growing up in Oakland, everyone's like, "Oh my God, the crime, blah blah blah." At least me coming up, it was always going to be a personal element to it.
Right.
Whether that doesn't make anything right or cool or anything, but somebody screwed somebody over and now there's hell to pay for it. That kind of thing.
You're not going to disrespect me. I'll disrespect you back.
I never got beat up or robbed or anything like that just because I was walking down the street. There was always,
because you always ran for your life. Hold on.
Okay, I can say that differently. But no, when that kind of stuff would happen, you'd always find out later, oh, well, so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that. It wasn't just so crazy random.
Right.
Which a lot of people, I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. They're like, can I just walk down the street and be cool? And
yeah.
That was my experience anyways.
Yeah, because, you grew up in, because one of my favorite things about you is almost every time we drive by Alameda Hospital,
okay,
you tell me that you were born there.
Granted, this is when you're giving me a ride home from the bar, so I tend to get back into my tourist
tourist guide. Early mornings.
I didn't always live right by there.
No. No, but you were born in Alameda because you are one of the few Alamedians. Right?
You're adding a vowel to Alamedan, but okay.
Right, Alamedan. What is Alamedan? So you're in
But,
Alameda.
yeah, so I was born here, but
But then you moved to Oakland.
no, I always lived in Oakland. My family
Oh, okay.
is from Oakland. My
Ah.
grandparents, my dad, all Oaklanders. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I would say Oaklanders.
just to make it fancy. But yeah, born in Alameda Hospital just because it was the closest hospital to our house.
Okay.
But yeah, I I was in Oakland for the first 40 years of my life, but I had an aunt and uncle who lived on Bayfront Island in Alameda, so we used their address to go to, me and my brother used their address to go to school here. So like, I had 2 addresses, 2 phone numbers. I mean,
You lived in 2 different worlds.
my mom tried to tell me it was like, having a secret identity, like Superman or Batman or something, which, sounds corny, but, I
Is
was
that
a
where you got
kid.
your love of comic books comes from, though, also?
Perhaps. I mean, lifelong comic fan and in all things, like
Right. So
the
you grew up-
books, the movies, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And so growing up in 70s and 80s in Oakland was like, had to be, since I moved out here, like just the freedom that comes with California, right? Like you can be whoever you are. Like we've talked about this a bunch.
For sure.
Like,
For sure. Yeah. It is a bit self-patrolling, but it seemed, at least, again, this
Your
was a long time ago.
experience, yeah.
But yeah, me and my brother were the only 2 white kids within blocks and blocks of where we lived, but it was never an issue and never a problem. Like we had the Roses across the street, we had the Williams across the other street, we had the Chans. I mean, it was a really multicultural neighborhood,
Right.
and you'll hear this from not inner city kids. I guess it qualifies,
Yeah.
but like neighborhoods tend to take care of themselves.
Right.
And you don't get a lot of cross-mogination with that.
Right.
If someone did come over and do something now, it got handled. Nothing
Right.
crazy. Nobody got killed over this stuff. It was just, just us taking care of each other.
No, and that's what I like. I long for in a lot of ways because now it feels like we don't even know our neighbors.
That sense of community is weird.
not,
And
yeah.
it's almost like it had to happen because we could see how bad it could get. But now we're older, we're a little more privileged, and especially we're in Alameda.
Right.
That's not really the case anymore.
Yeah.
Which people tend to hide in their houses now. And
I hate that.
thank you, internets.
No, fuck you, internet. Like my mom hosted Thanksgiving for the first time in 40 something years, right? And like my parents always threw parties. We threw parties.
Shout out Susan Kelly.
Yes, Ma. So Susan, Stevie loves it that I call my parents by their first name.
It's so weird to me, but okay, sure.
We'll get back to that. But so my mom hosted Thanksgiving, right? And they had 32 people for Thanksgiving dinner, which is like a decent amount of people. Like that's a good sized dinner.
We do nuclear families out here, man. If there's more than 6 people in the house, we got a problem.
No, like my family's ridiculously huge. But so the kids were outside playing and the cops got called.
On the kids playing in the street?
So apparently, like, my mother was like, oh, yeah, I was like, how was dinner? And she was like, oh, it was good. Like, hopefully next year you'll be home because I'm going to host again, I think, and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no, anything exciting happened? And she's like, oh, well, the police did get called. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, it's been so long since you guys have hosted people. Like, the cops got called. Like, was it parking? Was it? And she's like, no, apparently it was child endangerment. And
Because the kids are playing
what?
down the street? Oh, boy.
So there was like 6 kids, like little kids, and they were all playing. And I guess one of them got locked out of the house and was like, let me in, let me in. And it was like 3 minutes of him just like at one door that they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah.
But instead of like one of the neighbors to come over and be like, yo, what's up? They called the cops.
I'm assuming this is like early in the day, right? I mean,
Like,
if the kids are running around, it's not like midnight or anything.
No, it was probably between like 4 and 7 p.m. Like, I
Wow.
can't imagine it was much. My mother was in bed by 9:30 that night, so it couldn't have been much later. Like, I didn't even talk to her on Thanksgiving because she sent me a message and was like, I'm going to bed.
Well, hey, that's a lot of work,
Like, all right,
right?
happy Thanksgiving, Ma. Like, but it was just funny because I was like, we used to have parties all the time.
Yeah.
Like I would have ragers. I mean, at my 21st birthday, we had a bouncy house for the adults.
Oh, dude.
Like,
So
I took over my neighbor's backyard. Like,
my parents moved out when I was in high school.
yes, this is one of the things. Like, when you one day you dropped that in a casual conversation, I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was a senior and my brother was a sophomore. And our parents literally, they'd been split for a while, but we all lived in the same house, small house in Oakland, whatever. But yeah, they're like, well, we're leaving. We'll, the bills are covered, and we'll slap a hundo on the fridge every week for food. But we're out.
So like, but how long did you all live together when they were separated? Like, was that early
okay.
in like your...
This is gonna take a second. I'll make it as brief as possible.
I mean, we're on a podcast. You can take it as long as you want.
Nobody wants to listen to drag out there.
No, I think it's interesting. Like, because when you said this to me, my mind was fucking blown.
So like, yeah. So I think it was first or second grade when Mom moved her boyfriend in the house. So it was me, my brother, my mom and my dad, and my mom's boyfriend living in a 2-bedroom in East Oakland. And it was, I don't know, it was the 70s, man. So there was like beaded doorways, the big pillows in the living room. I mean, we lived that life. And,
were your parents hippies?
Yeah, oh, totally. And they were super young. So, like, they were 18 and 20 when I was born.
All right.
And my brother came along 2 years later. So they were still very young.
They were kids.
But they were also the first of their friends to have their own house. So all their friends who still lived with their parents would come party at our house. So it was actually kind of cool because, like, we grew up very fast in that situation. Because, like, they were uncomfortable being around kids. And we didn't want to be treated as kids. Right. So we learned to walk and talk and act like adults at a very young age.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's where we get our thing from.
And then growing up poor kind of lends itself to that as well. You're kind of on your own a bit. But yeah, so yeah, Mom and Dad moved out when we were in high school. And we would have these crazy parties where, like, we'd take that $100 that was for food and... Because we lived in Oakland, if you had cash, you could get booze. You didn't have to be anywhere near 21.
You didn't even have to look.
We would stock up the fridge with malt liquor, and half of Alameda would come over to Oakland for the night, and we would just rage, man. I mean, and every once in a while, the cops would show up, and nobody ever got in trouble. They just wanted to make sure everybody was safe, which was wow. Oakland, believe it or not, that happens. So yeah, we'd have these crazy, crazy parties, and they'd last for days sometimes. Yeah. Again, because none of us were 21, we weren't even 18. There's nowhere else to go. So we had these crazy house parties with no supervision. Anyways, nobody ever got hurt except for me. I got hit over the head with a bottle. It was not that big of a deal. But yeah, that's a whole other story. But yeah, so yeah, it was kind of a weird, fun way to grow up.
Yeah, like it's very different. Like I remember you dropped something and like you were like, oh well, when my parents moved out, and I was like, hold on. Yeah. My parents were just like, okay, see you later. Yeah, I mean... Like, I would have begged for that when I was your
My dad had a long-term girlfriend somewhere else, and, Mom and her dude, they finally decided... They made it to Alabama before I did, actually. Funny enough. But yeah, so yeah, we did that. And then, my brother wound up, he left, so I had the place to myself for decades.
Really?
That was pretty cool. 20s and 30s, no rent. Yay.
That's amazing. I mean, that is a kind of a gift, too, that your parents gave you. Like,
well, they didn't want to live there.
Right. But I mean, they still paid your bills. You know what I mean? Because like most of the time you hear when parents get to that point where they're like just going to go do their own thing. Well, they're like, oh, you go make your own fucking life. See you later.
Yeah,
but 18. I mean, like, we're not supporting you.
My great-grandfather built the house. My grandfather grew up in it and then sold it to my dad for like 10 grand. So like the place is paid for. Right. It was. Yeah. And it was what water and PG&E basically.
Right. All right. Well, I mean that makes a little more sense, especially because knowing that you grew up poor, like the fact that your parents were like affording 2 places to live, like that's what always kind of. I was like,
well, like I said though, because the place has been in the family since it was built. Yeah. That wasn't really an issue. Yeah.
And you didn't. Was it not an option for you guys to keep the house? Like, did you?
That turned into a very personal beef with me and my father. I tried to buy it from him, and he was an only child, so he wasn't really much of a sharer. And yeah, ultimately, I made him an offer, and he wouldn't take it. And then he wound up taking a loss on the place. And
because fuck him.
So yeah, I win.
And guess what? He's dead.
And he's dead. So double win.
Cheers to that.
I'm not cheersing him dead, but I do miss him. I did love him, but man, that definitely created a thing for us.
Yeah, money and house, like money, and I always think money and death make people funny.
Well, that's the thing. I had a cousin who I'd never met before coming to where I was working, one day, and she's like, "Hi, you don't know me, but we're related." And she pulled out like a piece of notebook paper with like a family tree written in
Oh, shit.
ballpoint pen, and me and my brother are on the bottom of it. And I was like, "Oh my god, wow!" And, I saw my dad and my grandfather and other family members on the tree, and she just introduced herself. No big deal. I didn't go to lunch with her. She just came. I was working at the Harley shop at the time. She just came in and said hi, blah blah blah.
Right.
And then she came by another time, and again, just a quick hi, how are you? Da da da. And then, like, I don't know, 6 months later, I get a phone call from a lawyer saying that she had died and left me like half of everything, which was like a condo in Pleasanton and like
Holy
some
shit.
bank stuff. So I wound up with like, I don't know, 6 figures out of this thing. Our family never had anything.
Right.
I was never, when my grandfather died, I didn't get a dime. When my dad died, nothing. I wasn't, no one was expecting anything.
Right.
All of a sudden I've got
This
this
chick just leaves
crazy
you.
inheritance. And in the like the notes, I was like, because her parents are still alive. She had an ex-husband. I mean, no kids, but whatever.
Right.
And she said she felt more family in 20 minutes with me than she had with any of them her whole life. She left her father $1, her mom $1, her ex-husband $1 to recognize that she didn't forget them. So yeah, so anyways, so I came in as windfall, and this is classic me and my dad. I'm at work, and my dad would come by the house to have his first 6-pack, because he was only allowed to have one at home. So he would have his first one at my house and then go have his real first one at him and his wife's. Anyways, so he calls me at the shop and he's like, "Hey, you got something from the lawyer?" Because we'd been anticipating this, because it took about a year
Right.
before this thing, in multiple meetings and signing papers, blah, blah, blah. So he opens the letter. He's like, "I've never seen this. It's a check. I've never seen this much money in my life."
Holy shit.
And he lost it. Like, that changed our whole relationship. And I never lorded it over anybody. I was stoked as I thought anybody else would be.
Right.
So yeah, so when it came time to, he wanted to sell the house, I made him an offer, and he wouldn't take it out of pride or whatever, and he took a hit on it. And I'd already moved to Alameda, so I was like, well, okay,
Yeah, see
bye,
you later.
Oakland.
Yeah.
That was when I turned 40, so 15 years later, still in Alameda, and I've still loved it.
Yeah. Double nickels.
Only for another week or so.
I know. Happy almost birthday.
Oof, I'm feeling it, man.
Yeah.
Don't get old. Oh, you get
No,
old.
Get old. Yeah.
Get old in a good way.
And we also have a no more. Well, we tried to start a rule.
We did try to start a rule.
People just
Don't die.
Yeah, don't die.
Just don't die.
Don't die. We have been holding our end up of that rule, actually.
Despite our best efforts, we're still here. Yes. Yeah, we had this thing where, like, we had quite a few very close friends. They're no longer with us, and it got to the point where, like, every time you say goodbye to someone, you hug them and say, "Hey, don't die."
Right. Yeah.
It's just simple. Don't die.
Because you had what was it, 8 months or a year of losing people every,
Like lifelong friends, like people that these are my people. Like,
Right.
we're all gonna,
get old together.
what was it, coffin buddies? Like, we were supposed to do this thing, man. We were gonna be in the rest home.
Yeah.
They just started dropping, man, and not like car accidents or anything like that. Like, just stuff that people die from way too young.
Yeah. It was like cancer. Oh, guess what? I have cancer.
Kids,
Oh, guess
here's
what?
some
I'm
weird
dead.
thing. How did that happen? And boom, like, they gave me a year. 2 months later, they're gone.
Yeah.
Or wake up dead.
Yeah.
Or, whatever it is, stuff that we don't even really know that much about.
Yeah.
But, not drug overdoses, not anything like that.
Yeah. Not drug overdoses, not
Things
suicide.
you would expect younger people to die from.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all been like natural-ish causes.
Which definitely gave all of us pause, because they're like, well, how do you avoid that?
Right.
How do you avoid something that you don't even know exists,
Right. Yeah. Like, how do you, and like, we don't take great care of ourselves.
No, well, that's the thing. We always joke, do you want to be the healthiest guy in the graveyard? It's like,
No.
no, but also it's like, well,
But also, I'm not trying to hasten it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to rush to the finish line.
yeah,
But like, also, like, I'm gonna enjoy what I enjoy.
and I think that's the big lesson there. And as cliche as it sounds, enjoy your time and, do the thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the regrets. Just,
Yeah. I was just talking to, I just interviewed a woman, and it will probably come out before this comes out, but Sarah Knopp, and she is a cancer coach. And I was like, I didn't know that existed. But this woman got a diagnosis and they were like, you'll be dead in like 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then it's been 11 years and she's still alive. But she's been on chemotherapy most of that time.
Oh, man.
So she's just been like, she'll go through times where she's like feeling better, but then she has to go back to treatment. Then she feels like shit. And like,
I've had friends who stopped chemo and they're not here anymore, but they said it was worse than any death they could imagine.
Yeah, when Michael Kelly, aka my dad,
Yeah, I've met the man, yes.
when he first got, like, he had small cell lung cancer a couple of years ago. And like, when I went home at one point, he was like really struggling with the treatment of it. Cause I mean, he was like, when my brother picked me up from the airport, he was like, just be ready. Like, dad doesn't look like dad. Like, he's like a shell of himself.
Yeah,
He's so small. And like, when I walked in and I was like, everything I could do not to burst out into tears. And at one point he's like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And I was like, then don't do it. Like,
Right.
Like I don't want you to die, but like also if you can't keep doing it, like I get it. Like to watch him be so sick and so like frail and just a shell of himself.
Well, and what's the quality of life? I mean,
Right.
Can you bounce back from something like that?
Right. And like, you know, and luckily now he's been okay and we've had him for a couple more years, but like,
I never would have known that.
I know. Yeah.
From meeting him, I never would known he'd gone
Right.
to that extreme.
Yeah. And it was scary. And like when you met him, like that is like a half of the version of who he used to be. Like he would have been like, he would have been running that pool table. He would have been throwing darts. Like he would have been, you know, like, but now he's just like, you know, he's tired all the time and he's weak but like, I'm so grateful that he's still here. But like a couple of times we were like, if you don't want to keep doing it, like, that's fine. Like take a bunch of your money out and like go spend it, like go travel. And like,
Sure.
I'm like, Dad, here's some edibles, eat them. Like
Do the bucket list. Yeah.
yeah, like what have you always wanted to do? Like you can't go to Europe now and like he's always wanted to go to Ireland and he never made it. And like now it still would be too hard, I think.
Yeah.
Unless we could hire, I don't know, a nurse to come with us. But like, I'm like, go do the rest of the things. Like you've always talked about driving cross country. Like get in your fucking car and drive out to see me. Like take a month to do it.
Well, Sully's got to go to work, right?
Yeah, like they're both retired now. I'm like, do it. Like, but it stresses Susan out to like have to take care of, because my dad doesn't even realize he has diabetes and he's had it for 40 years. You know, like she has to like manage all of his shit. It's also because I love you, Mom.
Well, I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, you know, your life partner is not your nurse, you know.
Right.
In those situations, we're not talking, you know, we're talking about people on the same leg of the journey of life.
Right.
You know, you're not equipped to handle that. And, you know, that's something, you know, I've thought about too, is like, you know, never married, no kids, you know, people are like, oh, what's going to happen when you get older? I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to burden anybody with all of that. I mean, some of those stereotypes about Swedish people are true, and yeah, I'll do it myself, and you know, and if I won't wake up dead, that's fine. That's how the dice rolled, you know. So, but yeah, I know family's important to a lot of folks. To me, not so much. It's not something that concerns me really.
Yeah, and it does for me. Like I was out on a date with a guy, and he was talking about how he talks to his mother like maybe once a month and sees her twice a year. And I was like, oh, I could never. Like,
oh boy, I'm not even. He's got me doubled, tripled with that.
Yeah, but when you're also in high school and your mom moves out, it must feel like, all right, well, like you know, like my mother has never moved out of my life.
I mean, we could fill 3 podcasts on my relationship with my mother, but you know, not to get all weird therapists there, but that.
Yeah, like that has to be
the disconnect that we have is what we need. Right.
Yeah, well, you also have to do what serves you, right? Like, at some point...
You got to become the adult.
Yeah, and at some point you have to be like, okay, now I'm just hurting my own feelings with this relationship, right? Like, I keep going for this thing for a different outcome and then, like, being disappointed at her or, like, you know, it destroys you
that was good. That was gone a long time. All that worry was gone. Yeah. It, you know, once you get out of a situation, it's a little bit easier to evaluate, like, what was important, what wasn't important. You know, you could be mad the rest of your life about it. But
why?
You're only hurting yourself.
Right, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can keep hurting your own feelings, or you can be like, okay, this person can't meet me where I need them to, and so I'm just not going to keep trying.
Yeah.
Like,
well, or also just take it at face value. It's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
As much as I hate that, I hate it because it's pretty much true. That's why I hate it so much. It's like, oh, I got my leg cut off. Yeah, it is what it is. How you can argue with that?
Right, yeah.
I did not get my leg cut off. That was
Not yet.
That was an example. Well, it's early. What's that saw doing over there?
No, but I think, but that's also, I think, why we get along so well too, is because we're like, yeah, bad shit happens, but like, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to be fucking miserable and angry about it for the rest of your life?
I feel blessed getting those tools early because I see people of even my own age struggling with this stuff, and I'm like, dude, you're going to be sad about this the rest of your life, man.
Right. Yeah, I know you didn't listen to it, but when I interviewed the grief counselor, I said,
"Why are you laughing about the grief counselor?"
I'm laughing because I'm like,
it's either laugh or cry, right?
No, I'm laughing because like you're one of my closest friends and you've never listened to a podcast.
I'm sorry, I don't.
No, it's not. But like, you also are one of the people that help keep me grounded because you're like, I have no idea what you're doing. I don't care. Like,
I don't. It's not that I don't care.
No,
I'm here right now, and not our first attempt.
Yeah, not
either.
So, okay. Yeah, just to clarify, we had a first attempt, and Stevie hasn't listened to any of it, but I have not listened to past the first 20 minutes because all of a sudden I heard my giggle and I was like, oh, that girl is blackout drunk.
Well, we prepped. We thought we had a good path.
We did. We went to a nice dinner and we were like, we'll go to dinner. We'll have 2 drinks so that you could be relaxed. I'll just be me. And like, because you were so nervous about sitting down to talk about yourself.
So we haven't talked about this, but like I've acted since I was a young person. I play music in front of people, but there's material. Right. It's just me sitting here. I don't think anyone's going to hear this. No one's going to be interested in this. But...
No, but it is interesting just because, like, just that part about your life, the fact that your parents moved out when you were in high school and you were, like, basically on your own.
Oh, if you're impressed with that, I got a whole lot of more for you.
Well, that, and you can laugh about it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not angry about it still. Because you, like you said, you know people that one bad thing has happened to them and they're still angry about it.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, tons of bad shit have happened to us.
Not trying to like qualify grief or anything or hardship. I mean, we all have our own highs and lows, whatever we've been through. But yeah, like I said, it gave me the tools to survive, you know? It's pretty rough spots.
Yeah. Because like, so I also know this story. I was telling you something else, but I completely lost my point.
Grief counselor.
Oh yeah. So when I was talking to the grief counselor, I was saying something about, no, I still don't have it. Trauma or...
I don't know. You were laughing your ass off.
No, I know, but my brain keeps going all over the place because there's so many things that we talk about that I want to bring into this conversation because we do solve all the world's problems at 4 a.m. I mean...
Indeed, yeah. At least they make a little more sense.
But when I was talking to Stacia, we were talking about like when you can have a sense of humor about it. Like, and like, if like the worst thing that ever happens to you is the worst thing that ever happens. But if you can realize like you're always going to be sad about that thing, but it doesn't control your everyday. Like the shit that happens to you, you're never going to be over it, right? It's about learning to live with it. It's about learning to understand that maybe it had nothing to do with you. It's about learning to be like, oh, like we've both lost so many people and like, I'm happy to miss them every day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not depressed by that loss anymore.
You saw me just a couple nights ago when someone brought up my best friend who passed not too long ago, and this guy still thought he was alive.
Yeah.
And like recommended me.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
he didn't know that we knew each other. He was like, oh, you have motorcycle trouble? Talk to this guy. And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yeah. And I
talk to him every day.
Right. And that was in that moment. And then he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And we were both like, don't be sorry. That was like a fucking amazing moment. Like,
I was choked up and tearing up. And it was literally tears of joy to think that my friend is remembered as a good person doing good work and you know, valued. I saw someone actually earlier tonight where we were, and he is a mutual friend, even though I'm not friends with him. He brought up his widow, my friend's widow. And I told him that story, and he was like, wow, man, he touched a lot of lives, and he was a larger-than-life person, and even in death, he's still larger than life. It's amazing, and I miss him every day. Yeah,
and, like, it shifts from being this point of, like, depressive sadness to this point of, like, joy sadness.
Oh, hearing him remembered it just, oh man, you saw my face.
Yeah.
I couldn't contain it, man.
Yeah, you like, and the guy that you're talking to was kind of confused because you had this huge smile on your face, but like tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, no, man, he's dead. And he was just kind of taken aback by you. You're like, yeah, like I do know
That's
him.
how Patrick would have talked. If he was talking about me, that's what he would have said.
And the guy was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like I had no idea. And like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And you're like, yeah. And he's like, I'm so sorry I brought it up. And you were just like, no, like, thank you.
Yeah.
And like, we both kind of like reassured him, like, no, like that's the most amazing thing you can do.
Yeah, for sure.
About
man.
someone that you lost is like to remember them and to remember them in such a beautiful way. Where it's like, yeah, it creates some sadness, but it's more of the joyous of the sadness.
Well, absolutely.
Like, and it's learning to enjoy, like, yes, I'm so grateful I fucking missed that person because they should be missed.
Yeah. Well, and of course, any chance to remember, recall, reshare those experiences and with one of your best friends. Yeah. Anyways, hi, and we're back.
So you want to talk about something else depressing that happened in your life?
Oh,
You want to tell me about when your house got robbed?
Oh, my house got robbed. Yeah, my house did get robbed.
Was that before or after your parents moved out?
Oh, decades later.
Okay.
The folks, like I said, moved out when I was in high school. So when it got to the point where me and my dad were struggling with, was I going to buy the house? Was I not going to buy the house? I gave him a great offer. He turned it down and wound up taking like a $50,000 hit.
Ouch.
Because he wouldn't take what I offered. Anyways. And I know nothing about house ownership. I don't know how to fix a roof. I don't know. I can barely plunge a toilet, man. I'm a mechanic. I work on motorcycles. That I understand.
The fact that you're like handy on bikes, but nothing else confuses me.
I can't hammer a nail to save my life. I asked you to come put up frames
that's
for
right,
me,
you did.
and you still hasn't happened. But
Well, no, because you told me Steven was doing it.
who?
Steven. I thought Steven was doing that.
Well, no, Davey was going to do it for 2 seconds. Then he moved to L.A.
I'll
Steven
come do it.
is not. That's come on.
I'll come do it.
Okay. Well, we'll
Put a pin
lock
in it.
that there. But I was going to buy this house that I grew up in, and it was falling apart. It's the bottom of a hill, so there's a lot of other structure stuff that
Right.
goes on with
Well,
it.
and you've been there since high school alone, and
Till
so
I was
no one else.
till I was 40.
So no one's, and you hadn't done any maintenance, so no one else was.
Well, I put comic books up on the walls, that kind of thing. I mean, that I'm good at. Anyways, so when he just decided he didn't want to sell it to me, okay, fine. So it just so happened that my friends in Alameda had this huge, beautiful Craftsman, and twice the size of the house I grew up in. We had a foyer.
Excuse me.
Pardon, my pardon.
What?
But yeah,
Welcome to my foyer.
It was amazing. Anyway, so I was like, and the rent was $666. Rent of the beast.
And you're like, it's calling me.
I literally moved my whole house into my bedroom. That's how big this place was. Except because the house in Oakland was still was still ours. My dad gracefully said, until you get all your stuff out, we won't sell the house until you get all your stuff out. Which I don't know if you got, I don't drive cars, I ride motorcycles. So moving on a motorcycle is a bit of a challenge. Yeah, you hire U-Hauls and have good friends. That's how you do that. Anyways, so I was on the slow process of moving, but I had also just opened my store.
Okay.
In Alameda. Did I tell you I opened a store?
May have heard of flowers once.
A lot of stories. Anyway, so I was busy. I was busy with that, and of course, not making any money that. So I was waiting tables and bartending and bouncing.
Right.
That's right, bouncing at 40 years old in the Mission in San Francisco.
God, and in the Mission, that's like rough.
It was rough, and by Friday night, I was ready to knock some heads. So anyway, during this process, the house did get robbed, and so like when I moved, I took the essentials, but I left behind a lot of my collectibles and all that.
Right.
A lifelong toy collection. Like we talked about comic books earlier. I mean, I had action figures from the 50s and the 60s.
Right.
Like I had one bedroom that looked like a toy store. Everything in the packages, anyways, gone.
Do you
Everything's
think
gone.
you were targeted?
I think part of the problem was, I think it might have been one, and goes back to what we were talking about earlier, times changing. I think it was one of my neighbors who actually noticed that the motorcycle hadn't showed up for a while. When I went to go pick up my mail, I noticed that the back of the house was caved in.
Oh.
They couldn't get through the security bars and all that, so they just took a sledgehammer to the back wall of the house.
Oh, shit.
And looted everything out of it. I mean, they stole broken VCRs. I mean,
Everything they could.
blank CDs and all of my toys and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty.
I
was
don't
pretty.
think I
rough.
ever knew that they knocked down the back wall.
They literally took sledgehammers
to the back wall.
And I think it was because my neighbors, because the access. I mean, it literally 10 steps away, and they got. And I might have seen a little bit of evidence of that. Anyways, wow. So here's something funny that happened with that. So I'm an old punk rock kid too. So they stole all my record, my vinyl, dude. Like this is before vinyl was a thing. This is like 15 years ago. Nobody cared about records.
So wait, 15 years ago. So this is like 2000s.
Well, yeah, I was 4.
Yeah.
So
no, I know. I think whenever you told me that your house got robbed like that, for some reason, I just figured it was like even longer ago.
Oh no, straight up 2000 because
Yeah.
I was 40 and I just moved down. I mean, the last number in the years, last number of your age, it's easy to remember stuff like that. I know it sounds weird, but
No, I'm the same.
so anyways, so talk to my dad. I'm like, hey man, this is weird, but because we never talk about this stuff. Is there insurance on this place? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, because I got robbed. They stole everything. He's like,
Right.
what? I'm like, yeah, all my tools out of the basement. I had
Everything.
a lifelong mechanic.
That's your
so I had all
childhood
that stuff.
home. Yeah.
Anyways, so Dad's like, well, you got to call the cops. We have to file this. And again, 15 years ago, we had to file a report for him to get any kind of compensation for
Right.
what was lost. So, like I said, I'm an old punk rock kid, and I had, my punk rock records there. And there's a band called MDC, which stands for Millions of Dead Cops. Okay.
I like the way you tried to say it super fast. Like million of dead cops.
Anyways, so the cop's
Million of
there,
dead-
and he's like asking me questions, and I'm like, and I'm devastated. I grew up poor. My stuff really wasn't worth that much, but it was to me.
Right.
Some of it was valuable. But, what you have when you're at 40, you have some stuff worth some stuff. Anyways, so the cop's like, what'd they get? I'm like, oh, they stole like a computer that never worked, like a homemade computer that never worked. Well, the other stuff I listened for, I'm like, oh, and they stole my punk rock records. I mean, how much crack are you going to get for an MDC record? And the cop stops and he looks at me and he goes, MDC? I'm all, oh, you guys know about that? And I wasn't trying to be, I wasn't just saying it to be a jerk. It just off the top of my head. And I'm like, oh, you guys know about that? And he's like, yeah, we know about MDC. I'm like, let me guess, you're not going to find anybody. Case closed. That's it. No.
You're like, fuck you.
Pretty much. Well, I kind of said it first. Without meaning to. I mean, I wasn't. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't even imagine like if my parents' house got robbed, because that's, my parents live in the house that I grew up in.
Right.
And so like in the crawl space are like my Barbies and my fucking Care Bears and fucking She-Ra dolls from when I grew
Dude,
up.
even worse, they got my cigar box full of Polaroids, man.
Oh my God, if you have those Polaroids, it is ducking reality.
I mean, talk about irreplaceable.
Yeah, Polaroids.
Yeah, because I'm old.
Calm down, Double Nickels. Calm down.
Soon to be one more.
Well, I mean, thank God. What's the option?
Yeah. No, I recognized that a long time ago. People are like, oh, getting older, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Man, I had a blast in my 20s and I'm
Yep.
still having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's because people like now think because I'm this old, I can't do this, or
Right.
I'm so old, like I can't, and like we were just talking about the other night, like we have to kind of like calm our lives down because the last few months we've been out a lot and we're like, yo, we can't keep doing this. Like,
Right. Well, I mean, and it's being smart about it. It's like, okay, how long can you go? You need
Right.
a couple hours? What's important to you?
Right.
You
Yeah.
have to get up in the morning, like all this stuff that, again, most people have to worry about that stuff. I feel blessed that I put myself in a very selfish position that I don't have to worry about that.
is it selfish though, or is it smart? Right? Because like Danielle and Holly and I were just talking about this on a Touch of the Tism episode, and we were talking about like I love what I do,
Yeah.
and like I don't. There's very rarely a day that I don't want to go to work.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I won't pick up a shift, or I won't like do something because I really love what I do. And like, I would rather do what I like to do every day and have a little less than be working some job that I fucking hate my life for.
That's ironic that you said that, because when I decided that I needed a real job with a 401k and blah, blah, and all that stuff, I did it for 15 years and I hated it. I hated setting my alarm every day.
Right.
I hated that I had to go and just blow it out for 2 days just so I can go back to the grind.
For 5.
Yeah, it made no sense to me. And like I said, I did it for a long time, and I'm like, wait, why am I busting my ass to do this?
Right. Like, I'm like, I could be dead on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, I am spending all the time I have hating what I fucking do.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there was no like big retirement waiting for anything like that. But it was like, why not enjoy the time I have while I can enjoy it, you know?
Right.
I mean, we're just going to get older. Things are just going to hurt more. So, let's do it while we can. Hey,
I hate the idea.
You have a grimace right now. Yeah, it's going to get worse. Sorry. I don't know if no one hipped you to that. How about hip? Is it the hip?
Yeah,
Today it's my knee.
Lately it has been my hip. I've been having some hip issues.
Yeah, I do the triage every morning. I wake up. What's not going to work? Okay, I said morning. Okay, whatever morning means to you. But yeah, you wake up and you're like, what doesn't work today? Is it the hand? Is it the foot?
Yeah, because you deal with. So we both. That's the other thing that we have bonded over. And there's more I want to get back into about. But like we both deal with chronic pain.
Yeah,
and we deal with it in kind of different ways.
Definitely not healthy ways, but results is what we're talking about.
Yeah, but like, and some days I'm not healthy about the way I handle my stuff.
Absolutely.
And then other days I'm like, picture perfect fucking patient, and I'm still like, it's still the same. So like, I
mean, I could drink water until it's pouring out of my ears. It's not going to make me walk better.
At least you'd pee better.
Well, that's part of the problem, man. Every 10 minutes I'm having to cane it down to the hall.
Yeah, so you deal with chronic pain. I deal with, and that's. There's
been times though, like I've seen you working and you see me working, and we like look at each other. You're like, you're keeping that. You got that smile, but it ain't about that.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that because not everyone recognizes it, and not.
Thank God, because it's not what we want to talk about.
No,
okay?
and like I don't want to talk about it, but it does sometimes. Like having the recognition, is just enough for me to be like, all right, like at least someone knows what I'm going through, right? Like, and I don't want to talk, and you don't want to talk, and like sometimes you're like, or we'll trade messages like, I can't do this today, and like I got you, I can do it, or like I'll tag you and be like, I am fucking wrecked today, or like where I'm like, I just can't. And like a lot of times we can walk in and see each other and know like, oh, they're having a day, but like at least you're here and you're doing it. Like fucking A, like I'm gonna cheers you. I'm gonna be like, good job on doing it. But like I'm not gonna talk to you about it.
No, God damn, that's like the most boring. Morbid shit. It's like, what hurts on you? Oh, this hurts.
Yeah, like, no, I'm going to find something to make a joke about. I'm going to change the subject. I'm going to, whatever. Like, I'm not touching this.
No.
And then I taught you about non-people days.
Well, the thing, I'd been doing it my whole life. I never gave it a name. I just thought I was like being a weirdo. Like, when I had my house in Oakland, it was a lot easier for me to non-people because people don't just show up at your house in Oakland. So, like, if I didn't answer the phone for 24 hours, that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Oh, so we should explain what we're talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but there was one day when you were like, hey, you want to, I don't know, hang out? And I was like, yeah, I'm not peopling today. And you were like, wait, that has a name?
Yeah. No, I'm not peopling today.
And I was like, yeah, you're lucky I answered. I think I said, you're lucky I answered my phone because I'm not peopling today. And I was like, but no. And you were like, wait, it has a name? And I was like, I don't know, but that's what I call it. Like, I'm having a day where I'm not answering my phone, I'm not leaving my house, and I'm not talking to anyone.
Every girlfriend I've ever had has struggled with this. I'm like, look, it's not like I'm going to a party. I'm not hanging out with my friends. I'm not ditching you. I'm just not doing it. I'm not engaging. I might wear sweatpants for 48 hours. This is just how it is.
Yeah.
And this is way pre-pandemic where we all did kind of like it was like I it's too much.
Yeah.
I can't have one conversation today.
Yeah. Like I try to unplug. I would say every 2 weeks now because I've been so busy and doing too many fucking things.
We typically do it once a week,
but yeah,
and now you're on one every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you need to fix that.
I do because I was for a long time at least one day a week I would not people, and it kept me balanced and I would not answer my phone. I would not and most of the time night
that's why it never hurts my feelings when you don't get right back to me because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's. Yes.
Yeah.
Get it.
But someone DM'd me the other day about something about work, but it was, we had texted late in the day on Monday and Tuesday, oftentimes like you, Tuesday's my non-people day.
Yeah.
And he had sent me something about confirming something and I didn't answer him because I didn't go on my phone. And then I was like, hey, sorry for the delay. And I was like, oh, and I was like, I have to kind of remember sometimes that I need to put it out there that I don't people. Just because so much of my job is interfacing with people for social media or work or bars or whatever. I was like, oh, I think I might have to kind of throw it out there. Hey, I'll get back to you. But if you hit me on right before non-people day, it will be 24 hours. And then I'm also fuck it. I don't need to explain my shit to anyone.
Well, I think there's why a lot of people would not understand that is because their phones don't ring after 9 o'clock.
Right.
We're bartenders and we're industry. And we have friends that are. So
Right.
we will get a text at midnight that needs to be addressed.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Not that we're sitting there staring at our phones, but we don't have a time where
we don't have business hours.
Turn it off at 8 o'clock and I'll get to you tomorrow, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, yeah, we don't have business hours. And we both manage one of the bars that we work at. So if there is something wrong,
Yep. That stuff will happen. I've gotten that text at 1 a.m. where I'm in my jammers watching my stories. Now I gotta put on a baseball hat and go somewhere. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I'll get a message something about, and it's any time of day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot. And our jobs are social.
Right. And the burnout is huge in our business.
Yeah. And I think that we don't talk about that enough. I sometimes forget that our job is so draining compared to someone that sits behind a computer and doesn't talk to anyone. I'm sometimes I
that
talk
could
to
be a whole other experience.
Yeah, that's a whole other burnout.
For what we are doing, yeah. And I mean, I never want to fake the funk. I love my job.
Yeah.
And this is the path I chose, and I accept that. But if I come into the bar less than 100%, I feel like I'm doing a disservice. I'm not doing the job.
Yeah, I feel
nobody wants a grumpy bartender. Nobody wants a sad sack all up in their fifis bartender.
Yeah.
Not that we have to be the clown, but
no, but you at least you at least have to be open to conversation or because I've been there we've all done it. I've been there on a day where I just don't want to talk to anyone, and everyone that walks in that knows me, especially because we work in places that everyone that comes, more than half of our clientele we know pretty intimately. So it's not just a hi, how are you kind of thing. It's how was your dinner? How was
did
this?
That thing go? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you were just going through this. We have stories about people we have to remember. We have relationships with all of them. We know.
And that's a genuine experience that we share there. And so if you're faking the funk,
they know
cool.
it.
Yeah, and I would hope you would call me on it, and that's why we need that downtime. That's why
Yeah, you got to know people. Yeah. I have to pee, but then I want to talk about
how dare you have a human function.
Terrible. It's like being on the bar. But then I want to talk to you about your music and acting.
Oh boy.
Quick break. One of the things that fascinated me too about you though is, so did you get into music or acting first, or were you all because I can't, and this is kind of you're a punk rocker, and I think you've always been definitely a punk rock kid, right? And so to think that this punk rock kid was then a theater kid,
is it really that far of a stretch?
I guess it shouldn't be, but I guess the punk rock kids that I knew growing up, I can't imagine any of them being
getting in a costume and makeup and hair and
well, yes, but only for the punk rock. I can't imagine them being today,
I did Shakespeare.
Yeah. That's what I mean is and maybe I'm just fucking stupid about it. But like, I can't remember any of the punk rock kids I knew being into theater. Like they were all like the hardcore, hated everything. Like,
Well, there is definitely that contingent as well. But like, okay, so I was definitely banging on buckets with wooden spoons.
as a kid.
I mean, in the backyard, I would do that for hours, playing whatever on a boombox and just going at it. But it's funny because that's where it started. But then in middle school, I got my first taste of doing like theater, and I was like writing plays that like school was producing. Like,
Holy shit.
I was directing plays in like 8th grade, man.
Oh, wow.
And so it's weird in this town. The middle school you go to determines the high school you go to, which is not that unusual, but also determine what you were offered as far as classes. So you had the basic stuff that you had to do, like English and
Right.
all that stuff. But like your
electives.
or whatever, you were limited. So like when I came in from the middle school I was at, they didn't offer theater to the school I was coming from. So I wound up playing sports, which I played park league baseball in Alameda, which was this town was awesome for that. Like, we didn't really do like little league, that kind of stuff. It was all park league. So your park versus that park.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, I got written up in the newspapers sometimes for my antics on the field. I mean, I did pretty good.
I like that it was for your antics and not for your sportsmanship.
I was like stealing bases and stuff, like
Oh,
stuff
okay,
kids
so
weren't
it was
doing, man.
Okay. Well, you were punk rock, man. You
Well,
didn't.
I was still learning what that meant, but yeah. So halfway through my freshman year at Alameda High, I got the option to transfer to theater, which is I was like, well, okay, sports is just a lot of dudes, right? There's girls in the theater program, and I already, like I said, I already been doing plays and stuff. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. So I lost the sports thing. Of course, my license is 5'10". I am not 5'10". So I was even shorter when I was younger, believe it or not. So yeah, the kids around me were a lot bigger than I was. So I was like, well,
Right.
I'm not going to compete with this. We're also, girls. So,
Girls.
So I joined, I started doing theater, and my freshman year, I got my first part. My sophomore year, I got my first lead. I was I was John Proctor in The Crucible my sophomore year.
Oh, wow.
I was on stage for like 2 hours. Man. It was grueling.
That's wild.
And anyway, so hard and fast learned that. But at the same time, I was also starting bands and playing in that house in Oakland
Right.
that nobody cared about. We had a
Just
big
banging away
garage
on
and
your
no car in
drums.
it because we're all kids.
No one that lives here can drive.
So, and I had this drum set I bought for like $100, and I played the hell out of it. And we had bands, and playing Gilman Street and doing all that stuff at the same time, doing theater in high school. And I just loved it, man. I mean, it was different groups of friends, some crossover, but not a lot. But
Right.
yeah, at Alameda High, we really got into it, man. I mean, and almost the whole theater group was punks. I mean, so I was shaving my head back then, skinhead, oi oi. So what would happen was we do 2 productions a year. We'd cast the play, and I would have to stop shaving my head until we got through the production.
Right.
And closing night every production, my cast members would shave my head after our last performance, and I would keep that buzz until I got the next play. To grow it out again. So half of my high school, I was either bald or wearing a hat. So that was a fun part of it too.
That's amazing. You can tell his seasons by his hair.
But that's how dedicated I was to it. I was
love
into it.
Yeah.
You can't play every part bald.
No. When was your first real acting gig? Like out of high school, like what was your first real movie?
Let's see. What was it? What would be the first one? Give me a second. Not that there's been a million, but I'm sure think about the first.
No, I know. You're just trying to figure out which was the first.
Because they all happen pretty quickly. I guess.
Should I look up your IMDb?
No, nothing like that.
You probably don't have one because you have to do that yourself.
Well, funny. No, actually qualified for the card and everything, but it was $1,000 back then, and that was a lot more than I had rolling around in my pockets. Let's see, I did community theater after high school. My first gig was probably, man, I'm drawing a blank. I did a Party 5. I did a Nash Bridges. Yeah, well, I mean, I was in my early 20s when all this stuff was
probably
happening.
like TV show.
Because there were a ton of productions happening in San Francisco in the early 90s back then. And yeah, there was always something going on, always something filming. And yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, so Party of 5, Nash Bridges. When you told me about Nash Bridges, I was like, Michael Kelly will be so excited.
Oh, yeah, I got arrested by Don and Cheech on the show. That was pretty fun.
And then you did what? Then Ed TV?
I did Ed TV with, that was pretty fun. I got to hang out. Ron Howard directed me, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you like casually dropped that into a conversation one night, and I was like, excuse me?
I mean, it sounds stupid, but it was super. The stories are hilarious because, like, I was one of hundreds of people that were there.
Right.
I happened to be there when it happened. But yeah, we get these. I think the Nash Bridges was the first one, and then the Party 5, and then the Ed TV. But yeah, because I was working when the movie came through, I was working at San Francisco Harley,
right?
And they'd set a fax. Yeah, a fax, ladies and gentlemen.
What's a fax?
Yeah, right.
Wait, I wonder how many people don't know what a fax is. Right, like cause
something between mail and a text message.
Yeah, it was like a printed email. It would like automatically print.
They wanted, so they would text. They would fax the Harley shop when they needed motorcycles for a scene or whatever. So whoever was available would run down and do the scene. And I got a couple. I did a weird Freddie Prinze Jr. movie, Boys and Girls. Me and my buddy took our motorcycles there, and they just. I don't know, they filmed them. It was whatever. But usually I made more money off of my motorcycle than I ever did acting myself. Those props are just, irreplaceable. But it was, like I said, but all my friends were doing that stuff. Like Patrick was in 9 months with Julianne Moore and
oh wow,
and Jeff Goldblum and all that. My buddy Phil, he was doing Midnight Caller and like these other TV shows. Like there's just a lot going on. And then it just got too pricey to film here. So that's when all those productions moved up to Canada. Oh. Cheaper to shoot in Canada than San Francisco.
Don't you know?
We could have been X-Files, damn it.
Yeah. Fucking ruined it.
Ruined. So yeah, that all kind of cool. So the music thing was like, I knew that was a non-starter. I wasn't ever trying to be, a rock star or anything. It was just fun to play with my friends, and we got paid in beer more than we ever made cash. But that worked too,
right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, just your stories about like being in the Mission and just being in San Francisco or like Oakland in those times. It's like you guys had such like a rich history and like so much culture and so much like the freedom of it.
There was so much going on. I mean, there was always something happening, and I don't want to sound like the old guy. I just went down to Hollywood a couple weeks ago and with a friend of mine who'd never been there before. So I was taking him all the spots that I used to go to with my friends. Hollywood is dead, man. I mean, we're on TMZ, we're on the Strip, and there's nothing going on, man.
That's wild to me.
I mean, we used to go there on Easter Sunday, and people were spilling out of bars and hanging out. I know the culture's changed quite a bit, and young people aren't really
drinking,
going out or anything, but like, man, it was weird being like, we're sitting where Lemmy hung out at Rainbow Room, and there's like 6 people, and we're 3 of them.
Yeah. I was just listening to and I talked about this before on a different episode, but like there was, I forget who it was, but there was a comedian like talking to this young like hip, who he thought was like a hip hairdresser, and like he was like, she just seems so cool, and then I mentioned something about the Beatles, and she was like, yeah, I don't know. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, you don't know? And she's like, well, I mean, I know they exist, but like, I don't really know anything about them.
Hey, I don't hate on the kids for being young, man. That's never been cool.
But I think like we grew up with like at least working knowledge of the people that came before. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like we And I don't know, maybe it's because we had less exposure to less information.
And that was what I was about to retort with, is that maybe because the record companies controlled everything so tightly, like you would hear the same song on the radio, 10 times an hour. It wasn't your choice.
Right.
And if you turn to another station, probably hear the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to sound weird coming from an old punk rocker, but like, I feel like there was more quality then. But the exposure now, you can type in whatever you want and listen to whatever you want. And I think that's great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can be like there's not famous people anymore. Like, not like there used to be when we were kids. Like, not everyone knows the same. Like, the celebrity is gone. Right.
Well, I also see it as like now everybody's a celebrity, which is a weird thing coming up. Like you said, when you have these rock stars or movie stars or whatever, and then like nobody else, that's it.
Yeah.
There was no indie darlings. There's no like, oh, that's the cameo guy, or that's, it's always you were on the top, or that's it.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody else.
Yeah. That's wild to me too, that happens, where like you can be famous in a niche now, where like you move through the world and nobody knows who you are, but like then you go onto your one platform and there's 3 million people that are following you.
Yeah. So like together with the acting and the music stuff, we had and this is why going to school in Alameda versus Oakland was rad. We had an audio video production class. So like everything I had recordings of us in high school doing the goofiest shit you've ever seen. Just as cool as anything you see on YouTube, but like nobody else had access to cameras. No one's going to give kids these cameras back then. But somehow we got that access. And man, we made all these dumb videos. We like, because this one thing we did where like a group of our friends, they're basically all of our girlfriends wanted to be like a skate crew. So we made up the skate crew for them and made an origin video, how, one of them gets fired from a bar. We had access to like these mansions on Grand. It's like we had this whole scene where like I'm the boss at the cowboy bar and I fired this girl and then she goes and meets a skateboard, mastermind. It's just it's just silly skits like that, but like pretty high production values for the late 80s.
Right.
So that stuff was super fun, But again, nobody thought we were going to go on YouTube and be.
Because it didn't
rocked.
exist.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was more fun.
Fun, yeah.
But now it seems a little cutthroat and wow, it's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, like I don't think kids do things just for fun anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like as adults, we don't. Like I just went to Burning Man for the first time this year, and I know that it's not your thing, but like, well, just because there's like, so also like like I knew about Burning Man kind of in the ether, but not a lot about it. But then moving here, people are either for it or against it.
I could see coming from the other side of the country, you're like, wow, what is that? What is that thing? I've been here since the first one. And I'm like, nope. But I have a lot of friends who have been there since the first. So I get that. I respect that,
Right. But like it was the people that brought their kids there, I was like kind of amazed by, because I'm like, these kids are getting to watch adults play. And like, who plays anymore, right? Like, because now kids have phones in their fucking hands since they're like 7 or 8. Like they're filming things, their parents are filming things. Like everything is for like consumption. Like what? Like you guys were doing that knowing no one would probably ever see it.
We're literally filming it for each other,
right? Yeah. And like this is so cool for us, and it's like this fun thing that you guys are doing just for the fun and the joy of it. And like I worry now, like what happens, or what are people doing just for the joy of things?
So I think it's cool that kids want to fucking, gosh darn, film themselves or what, I self-correct like that. Anyways, filming their friends and doing stuff. Like my nephews, they go snowboarding and they, do all that stuff. God damn, I sound 100 years old. But like, I feel like there's this pressure that if it's not liked enough or it's not monetized, or like, are kids feeling bad?
Right.
If they don't get that approval, if they don't get that, because we never thought about that at all. I mean, well, like you said, it wasn't even an option, but like, that puts a whole other set of pressure onto that, right? Like,
yeah,
performance-wise and, content-wise, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Me neither.
That's why I don't TikTok. I know. Again, I sound like 100 years old, but like, it just doesn't. It just doesn't interest me.
Yeah. Like, I'm bad enough on, like, I scroll and I mean, like, I manage social media accounts for other people.
Right.
And I do a good job of it. But, like, for myself, I just am not, I need to shift into that for the pod, for just, for building a brand. And it's such a thing that I'm uncomfortable with because I'm like, I don't want my life to be for show. Like, I want to live my life to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there are people that, like, just share their enjoyment of life on social media and things. And, like, I'll share also the bad shit. Like, I do this and I'm honest about all of my kind of pitfalls and my, like someone was like, oh, I was trying to help write someone's bio the other day. And I was like, I'll ask ChatGPT to help us. And
Oh, good Lord.
And so, like, I looked them up and it was like they recently were on a trauma-informed podcast. And I was like, oh, wait, that's me. I was like,
Okay,
wait.
wow.
I was like, ChatGPT just described my podcast as a trauma-informed podcast.
That's what you get, you little AI dabbler, you.
And I was like, oh, that is terrible. That's not what, like, I want to be known for.
Wait, am I going to wind up with some kind of weird
Yeah, you will.
doom scroll thing like that? Oh, good Lord.
But then, like, when you, like, and, like, I was like, oh my, and we were laughing and I was like, that's me. And they were like, wait, is it because of my episode that it's trauma informed? And I was like, no, I think it's like
All of that. All of your
And I was like, no, I think it's because, like, one of the through lines through my stuff is, like, the bad shit, right? Like, I talk about it. I'm open about it. I'm open about my own bad shit.
But, I mean, think about it, every great comedy or horror or tragedy. It's got to be some laughs and it's got to get dark a little bit. I mean, that's the human experience.
Yeah, like, if you are always, like, if everything is always good for you and, like, you're just, like, fucking sailing through life, you're probably pretty fucking boring.
See, and that's why a lot of those, like, platitudes are, like, like, life's a garden, dig it, or whatever, hang in there, which we used to see in dentist offices in the 70s. We thought that was pretty corny back then. I still want to see that stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, be positive. That's fine. But I'm a punk kid, man. I reject that. When I start seeing that stuff, I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, like, I'm a hippie. Like,
But you own it.
yeah, but, like, I also like fucking dark and twisted.
And you're also from where you're from.
Yeah, I'm also from Boston, and we just
Both can be true.
yeah. I mean, but I've always kind of been like a little bit of like an odd duck where I am and where I'm from, and like my friends were like, yeah, I don't know, she wears fucking raincoat pants. I don't get it, but like.
I remember this friend of mine. Weird little rockabilly kids right around the 90s. It's kind of like the punk rock retirement plan or whatever. We were somewhere, and these guys are like just being dicks. And this is like before it got super popular, like, because we were on the cutting edge. You understand?
Well,
but,
obviously,
we got we got our sideburns. We got a ton of grease in our hair. I remember this one guy
starting the trend.
One guy was like, "No, no."
I just meant years.
We just didn't know what to do, and we were like, "Well, Mohawks are out." So we were at a bar or something, and these like guys were like talking shit. One was like, he's like, tell my friend, he's like, "Hey man, you look like Elvis," and he looks at me, he's like, "Yeah, you look like everybody else." And I was like, "Yeah, you do." Fuck you. Yeah, we look like Elvis. Jerk.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Elvis is cool.
We're just appropriating some culture.
What are you with your baseball hat convention going on over here? Get out of here.
Well, because then you also, like, you lived in Oakland where you're one of the only white kids in that neighborhood, right? But then you came to school in Alameda. And you lived here when the Navy base was in, like, full fucking throttle.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You guys talk about squids, and I'm always like, what? Because, like, and we were just talking about
squids is what we call the Navy guys.
Because growing up in Boston, like, we had a Navy Yard, we had, like, some of that, but you never really saw them. Like, it was very rare that you saw them, like, out. Like, they didn't.
Do you think that their MPs kept them on base more?
I guess, but like, until I moved here and started hearing all of you tell those stories, like, I never thought about it. Like, in the North End in Boston, you would see them every once in a while, but, like, you didn't see them a lot. And, like, I think I knew one girl that dated a Navy dude in Boston, and he was on the Constitution.
I mean, because these guys would literally walk from here, where we are currently on the base.
Right,
the old Navy
I
base,
live on the...
and you could walk to Webster Street.
Right.
So, like, if they had a couple days off, they would walk down there and mayhem. I mean, it was wild, man.
Yeah, and... like, so my brain, like, when you guys start talking about it, my brain like plays it as like a movie in my head.
Because it was like,
Yeah, because like to me, it's so foreign, right? Like you guys, like even I've heard stories about Fireside. Like there's only one window. Well, now they have the other windows.
right.
But someone was like, oh, both of the like the big bay window that's there used to be another small brick window.
Yeah.
And then they were like, and then we boarded them up because the Navy guys used to break them all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
And like there's a rule in Alameda, like you can't have a tattoo or massage place on the first floor. It has to be upstairs. And they say that that's because of the Navy.
Well, I think the idea is that you have to be able to manage a flight of stairs. Because, yeah, I was nuts. It was cowboy days, man. I mean, because, like, we'd be coming home from, going out to the city or Oakland for, punk rock shows. Then going to Alameda to, like, hit the 24-hour diners and that kind of thing. And that's right when those guys were getting kicked out of the bars.
Right.
So it was, like, it was wild, man. Yeah, very, very. And, like, and you got to understand, we're high school kids. And these guys are all adults. They're well,
supposedly
they're
of age,
and they've had military training to a
Right.
certain extent. So, like they forget the high school, but the football team, we got trained military personnel trying to kick our asses because we have funny haircuts. Yeah,
like flock of seagulls. Where are you going?
saying, "Hey, Mohawk, come here, come on! Is that dude wearing earrings? Let's get him!" Like that, serious,
Right. Like, were you guys, like you joked earlier, running for your life, but like,
Because, I mean, in the middle of the day, you're walking down the street and you got like a leather jacket. Whatever, it didn't look like what they grew up in Ohio looking at. Sorry, Ohio, you're
Right.
awesome. But, but like, look, if you looked a little different, a car would pull up and 4 guys would jump out and chase you down the street.
wow.
And again, we're kids, man. We're
Right.
under 18, children. Yeah,
Just,
it happened a lot.
I can't even, like, in my brain, in my brain, not to insult you, but it's always,
No one wants to go there.
It's always in black and white.
And you can
I can hear that 8mm film.
Dateline Alameda.
Keith Morrison is leaning against someone's car with a full head of brown hair.
Well, it was not black and white.
Tonight's Navy ship got in, and then all hell broke loose on Alameda.
Back the boys.
But it must have been wild to go from that to then one day, like, the whole base is just gone.
So one of my best friends, his mom was a florist on the base, literally just on the other side of the gate. So we would go pick. She didn't drive, so we'd get in the car to pick her up, and we had to sit outside that gate while she
Walked
out through the armed guards to get in the car so we could drive her home.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's also wild to me to grow up in a place where like there was just this forbidden space.
Yeah, my dad, when I was a kid, he was a contractor with the Navy, so he's a civilian contractor. So he could get on there.
Yeah.
I could never go see him at work. I had no idea what that looked like.
Wow.
So okay, so this is a trip. So when they did decommission the base and we had access, I remember the first time riding my motorcycle through those same gates. There's no armed military. Like it just gave me a chill. Like up until not that long ago, it was still a real kind of rush, like to be able to come out on the base.
It's wild.
And not that there was nothing here.
Right.
Like none of these breweries, none of this stuff was
Right.
nothing here. People, I mean, no one was renting here. You couldn't. There was
be
maybe
on.
some squatters, but you could. So what we would do, if me and my buddies on our motorcycles, we go out to the landing strip.
Yeah.
And I mean, wheelies, burnouts, drag racing. I mean, and that's when we had cell phones, so we could start filming each other doing this silly
Right.
stuff. Bringing a case of beer out. There'd be some joggers maybe.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah.
We did some of our best. We did a bunch of photo shoots out here. Oh man, they're so cool. But yeah,
They're all on Polaroid, so. No.
they're in color. They're framed. You're a jerk. But yeah.
Yeah, have you met me? I'm kind of an asshole.
Well, opposites attract, and so do people who aren't opposites. I don't know. Trying to get deep with you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it must have been amazing. Because even now, like, I mean, I lived out here a year on the base, and there are still so many buildings that are abandoned and aren't, and they haven't, and they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with them.
It's ironic that most of those were like the officers' quarters, like the big shots around here. Those are the ones that are just crumbling to nothing.
Yeah. And it's still weird till it comes through like one of the sides. Like when you come through, you can tell where the guards, like there's still the guard shack. Like there's still like the metal fences that they could close. Like it is a weird thing to live.
And I believe to avoid any kind of like, I'm talking out of pocket here. This is what I've heard because it's Alameda lore. Apparently the Navy sold the base to Alameda for $1.
Oh, I think it's true.
Which absolved them of any cleanup, having to report. I mean, they were pouring paint and lead and gasoline and whatever all else.
Just deadly chemicals.
Yeah. I think it's still true that they warn people moving out here to not grow a vegetable garden.
Yeah, you can't.
At least don't eat it. If you
Yeah, you can't plant anything out here.
Yeah.
Because I talked to Amos White from 10,000 Trees, or 10,000 Trees for Humanity, I think it is. And we were talking about, because there's no trees out here.
Oh, trying to get something
and he was trying to figure out how to do it. Yeah, and he was like, they were like, well, you can't plant out there because of the poison ground. And he was like, okay, so let's do like buckets. Let's do like planters. Let's do like, and he was trying to figure out a different way to bring greenery out here. And then like, I have to have him back on because then we went down a whole rabbit hole.
Because I imagine that would poison wildlife or whatever. I
think so. Yeah. I think like, and so he was like, well, we can do it like this. We could do raised beds. And he was just like trying to figure out other ways.
Yeah. Because there's still like no real cover out here, right? I mean, besides the building, if you want to sit in the shadow of a building.
Yeah, but that's it. There's not a lot of green out here. It's a lot of cement. It's a lot of dilapidated buildings.
Broken asphalt.
Broken asphalt. And just.
Yeah, I think I was taking a car out here to pick you up to go to a show or something. And the Uber had to like get very creative about how to pick you up because the set route was not passable.
Oh, yeah. Well, they also like keep closing roads because they're doing a bunch of different construction out here and knocking buildings down that are unsafe. Because like there was a building across from me and the builders of my building wanted to buy it. And then they were like, oh, yeah, it's actually not habitable. Like, it's not even salvageable. Wow. So they had to just knock it down one day. And, like, then there was a bunch of mold, too, which is a problem. And yeah, because we're right next to the water. I mean, it makes sense. Like, although the salt here, like, on the East Coast, the salt water does more damage than it seems to out here. And I don't know if that's the cold or I'm not a scientist.
Oh, maybe. Because you're more temperate, it doesn't.
I don't know, but like out here, like so on the East Coast, like you get close to the ocean and you can smell the ocean. Like you can smell like the salt air, but out here, very rarely does that ever happen. Like one of my favorite things is when you get close to the beach on the East Coast, you can smell it. Like, and I'm not talking like low tide smell. I'm talking like clean salt water, fresh air. Like you can.
Do you think it's because our shores are longer, so there's less density of water up into the shore? I don't
know. I'll have to find someone I can talk to about it and figure it out because I brought it up a couple times out here, and most Californians don't know what I'm talking about. When I'm like, you can smell the salt air, like it doesn't happen out here.
Do you notice? I mean, you ever been on a boat out into the bay? Have you ever done anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to Alcatraz and I went fishing once in Santa Cruz.
Do you notice it there? I mean, I
not
don't,
really. No, not the same way. Like Santa Cruz, maybe a little bit at different times, but not the way you do on the East Coast. Like I'm talking when you get within like 3 miles of going to like the Cape, you head down to like the beach of the Cape Cod, you can smell the salt air.
Maybe almost before you even get to the water.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, I'm almost here. I can smell it. I can feel it.
I guess that could have to do with wind too. We have a really weird microclimate here where it could be 80 degrees, 60 degrees within 10 miles, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd never heard of a microclimate until I moved out here. Like when they were like, oh, in San Francisco, you can go through 3 different climates on the same street. Right. Because of the elevations. Like that to me was.
We're surfing in the morning, skiing in the afternoon. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, and still be in the same state. Like in New England, you're in different states for all of that. Like it's not just one.
I mean, not even that far. I mean, you can get in a car and do that.
Yeah.
Quite easily here.
Yeah. But like, were you always behind the bar too while you were doing, or did that like, because you were doing the Harley thing and then you opened your own store. So you went from being.
So I was working like retail in like Dungeons and Dragons stores and doing that kind of stuff in middle school, into high school. Yeah, nerd.
Nerd.
That was the time. Anyways, but yeah, I'd been working retail. I was delivering pharmaceuticals for Webster Pharmacy on a bicycle during high school. That sucked. I hated it. But anyways, but I started bartending when I was still in high school, and we were doing these undergrounds, which eventually started to get called raves. They were originally undergrounds, and like our shift wouldn't even start till like 2 a.m. And we'd go all night, and like you walk out of there at crazy cash for. Like I just turned 18. I turned 18 in my senior year because I was born in December.
Right.
So we got started late, but yeah. So I did that for quite a while. Eventually I turned 21 and started doing it legally.
Eventually.
But yeah, actually the whole motorcycle thing started when my bike was in the shop, and I was working one of my bikes was in the shop. I was working at 2 bars, and I quit one for whatever reason, and then I worked at both bars on the same days. So I quit there, super pissed. It was just me and the owner, like whatever. So I go to the second bar, and I'm like, oh, like he could see how the owner he could see I was pissed. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I just quit, man. They've been dangling the shift in front of me for almost a year, and they gave it to somebody else who doesn't even work there. Anyways, so I quit. He's like, oh man, I wish you let me know. I'm like, what? He's like, I sold the bar last night. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Oh my God.
So I went from a bartender with 2 gigs to nothing, and a motorcycle with a big bill mounting every day. Oh. So as soon as the next day after I finished my last shift, at 2 bars on the same day, I went into the shop. I was like, hey, I'll get the money together, but I just lost both my gigs. And the owner goes, can you work them up? And I'm like, yeah. And then 18 years of working in motorcycles.
Oh, wow.
From that, yeah. Working my way up.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
So it wasn't like you just started working in the shop and then just
I was literally I was a shop boy, cleaning it up, and then they taught me how to change a tire, and then it just kind of
oh wow,
escalated to that, and then I got into like, I was wrenching at that place, and then my boss died, and then they were hiring at the Harley shop, and I had no interest in Harley. I was an old school like British racer kind of guy, like that's stuff I like. Anyways. My grandfather actually mentioned it. He's like, I saw that the Harley shop was hiring. So I went over there, and it was me and this other kid. Now, I was literally coming in to be that shop kid.
Right.
And the guy who was hiring, it was me and this other guy. And he goes, well, a motorcycle has 2 wheels, and this guy doesn't know anything. So, boom, you're going into parts management, and you're the shop boy. I'm like, thank God. So I didn't turn her. I don't think I turned her wrench since then. That was a long time.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
you went right to management.
Yeah. This shirt does not get dirty. But, yeah, and then it just kind of kept building up and up from there. But, yeah. And then, when that kind of petered out, I was like, well, yeah, like I said, I opened the shop and all that. But I was like, all right, I got my own business, which means I need to go make some money.
Right.
So that's when I got back into bartending. And it instantly reminded how much I love it.
Yeah.
Like I had forgotten how much I really enjoyed, and not just getting people drunk. I mean, but like going back to the theater thing, like, I'm kind of performing,
Yeah. Someone was like, I was talking about how like I am afraid to like have stage fright, and I have this and I have that, and like I'm afraid to like do stand up, or like how do people get up on stage, like, and you were a musician, so I feel like it's easier for you, but like someone was like, you basically do the same thing behind the bar.
Yeah. And
they're like, it's just a smaller stage, and I was like, that hurts my feelings, but also I get it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I did community theater, I did a couple of gigs. Nothing pays like bartending.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and I love it. And
you still get to tell jokes. You do whatever, let the the conversation kind of lead its way, you know.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day, like, what did they say? I just lost my train. No, I did. Yeah, I just completely lost my train of thought. Wow. That just floated right out of my head.
Aren't you glad you're an editor too?
Yeah. No, what were we just talking about? We were talking about, being on stage and everything. And they were asking me what makes a dive bar. And they were like, I don't think this is a dive bar. And I was like, it's a dive bar.
You think Ben's a dive bar?
I think it's an elevated dive bar. It's a neighborhood pub. It's a neighborhood pub, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of a dive bar. We're in that realm. We're in that family more than we're not a cocktail bar. We're not.
No, we don't have a menu.
We're not a pub, which a pub has a menu usually.
And 1,000 beers. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think we are a dive bar. I think we're an elevated dive bar, but I think we're a dive bar.
I think we're a neighborhood bar because I'm not naming names, but we have been in some dive bars.
Yeah.
That our bar is clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I get. Well, that's what I mean. We're an elevated.
Have you ever been hit up for change? Because I have been hit up for change in other bars, so that would qualify as a dive bar. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like we aren't a dive bar, but like.
I mean, we've had a few minor scuffles, but have you ever really had to stab anybody?
No, but that's what I mean. But I guess neighborhood bar, but I still would say we're in a dive bar family. Like we're mostly regulars. I reserve the right to tell you to go fuck yourself.
Well, I mean,
like
anything outside of corporate, I think that should be pretty much the rule, right? I mean,
I don't know. I like we don't have any events. We don't do we are just a bar.
Yeah, but we also don't have people bringing in their crock pots.
I mean, occasionally we do.
Hey, look, I'm sure I could bake or whatever. You want to throw in there, but
no, yeah. But I think we're just maybe an elevated. I don't. So what do you just classify us as a neighborhood bar?
I think it's a neighborhood bar.
All right.
I mean, and I every time anyone asks me for a menu or anything like that, I always say, hey, we're classic cocktails. I will make you the Negroni Manhattan of your life.
Right.
But no, I don't have mint.
Yeah.
There's no espresso martinis happening here.
Yeah. Like someone the other day was like, do you make espresso martinis? And I was like, no. And then someone else was like, well, you could technically. And I was like, no, I can't.
Here's the thing. If we can't do it 100%, we're not.
Right. Well,
we're not going to fake it.
Well, yeah. And I was like, I could fake you one, but I'm not going to because I'm not going to cater to what, I'm not going to fake give you what you want.
But yeah, I'm going to try to piece this together and you're going to hate it. And now you don't like our bar and you don't like me.
Well, like someone the other day when I was talking to that guy and he was like, well, what can you make that's creamy? And I was like,
Bailey's ice.
Yeah.
Boom.
And I was like, I can make you something with Bailey's. And he's like, well, you don't have cream. And I was like, no. And he's like, well, do you have milk? And I was like, don't you think I would have offered it? And someone else sitting there was like, that's how you know it's a dive bar is because they don't have that stuff. And I was like, I guess I don't know if that's how I would classify it, but
would you want dairy out of a dive bar?
No, that's what he was saying is it's a dive bar because we don't have dairy.
Consider the wine that we have. Would you consider those dive bar wines?
I wouldn't consider them good ones. I mean, they're not terrible.
You drink them.
I do.
I drink them.
Yeah.
I don't drink dive bar wine. Whatever.
I would also not go to a dive bar and order wine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, is there graffiti in the bathroom?
Yes. There's one piece right now.
There is?
Yeah. In the big bathroom over the door to the right. It's been there for 6 months and it annoys the shit out of me.
Oh, I don't know how I missed it. Okay. Well, all right. Well,
there won't be tomorrow.
One thing in one corner of the big bathroom. People, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've always just considered it like an elevated dive bar. Versus we don't have a trough in the floor. You know what I mean?
True. Okay, Boston. So what kind of bar is yours?
That's a neighborhood bar.
Well, we're not?
I mean, I would consider that a dive bar too, though, because you can come in with wearing whatever. You can, you know what I mean? I guess maybe my definition of a dive bar is looser.
I just think about these horrible bars I've been in the Mission, in Oakland, and Alameda.
Right. And also, you guys have a different version of dive bar out here than we do, probably.
I suppose.
You know, like I guess most of the neighborhood places I think of as kind of a dive bar, like not like tourists don't go there. Like you go there, everybody knows you. Like
Right.
that's the kind of dive bar that I think of. And I don't think of dive bar as in only like a dirty way.
Oh, no.
I just
love
think of
dive
it.
bars,
Yeah, I
but
prefer
what
them.
it is.
Yeah, like I know I can go there either dressed up or in sweatpants. I'm not getting treated differently either way.
Right.
You know, like that's kind of what a dive bar to me feels like home. It feels like people that know you. It feels like there's no bullshit. There's no, like, everyone just kind of accepts you how you are. Like, no one's asking you to come in with certain manners or this or that. Like, there's no frills. There's no fancy. There's no.
Okay,
like,
so with that, like, okay, so that's why I would, along those lines, I would qualify this as more of a neighborhood bar in that, you know, you can't just come in there and shoot your mouth off about anything you want to talk about.
Right. Yeah, no, you have
Dive bars kind of lend themselves to that, and you wind up with bar fights because of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Which, again, not knocking. I grew up in dive bars, so.
Yeah, same. Like, I think that's why I fell in love with dive bars. I think that's where I've always felt more at home.
So you heard a lot about Last Weekend over the years that you've been here.
Mm-hmm.
That was a dive bar. That was graffiti everywhere. The place didn't just smell like lovely beer and liquor. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess anytime you go into a bar and it smells clean, it's probably not a dive bar.
There you go. Let's go there. Your first thing that hits your face when you walk in, is it pee? No,
Not a dive bar. Oh, what's the worst fight you've ever had? Now you brought up Last Weekend, so now all I can think about is porn.
Yeah, that's a dive bar porn. Boom. Yeah, natural progression.
What's the worst fight you've had in the dive bar or in one of your bars?
That I've had or I've seen or
Dealer's choice, I guess.
Huh.
I was just trying to think. I don't have any terrible ones from the bars. I mean,
I don't either. And I think it maybe it lends itself to a little self-protection. Like, I don't think I would work somewhere where I thought I might get a pool cue over my head, you know?
yeah.
I've definitely seen some bottles popped over people's heads. I've done it. I've had it done to me. Not on the job, boss. But, you know, like, and you and other people we know have shown, you know, we got to stand our ground, you know, and make sure people know that, you know, you can't just come in here, be whatever you want and be an asshole. Yeah, I think I've actually been lucky in that. Or one night when I was bouncing in the Mission, and it was like crazy, like a Friday night, and I mean, there's 100 people trying to get into this bar, and it's already packed. Like,
Right.
You're not letting anybody in. That's how packed it is. And one of our bouncers, there's 3 of us, and of course they're half my age. This one guy, he was tall, like way over 6 feet. So everybody always wanted to fight him. The little guys would get drunk and want to fight. And I remember this one guy was picking on him, and I was at the end of the bar, and I couldn't get to him.
Right.
He was that far away. Our bartender, one of the coolest chicks I've ever met, comes over to the bar with a baseball bat. No one touches my boys! And starts swinging it. And man, that place cleared out. That was, and she
meant it.
She definitely would have came down that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some worse stuff, but as far as me personally involved, not really, other than like personal beef kind
Right.
of stuff, you know, which will happen.
Yeah.
Also.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we're so involved in people's lives. Like I was saying to someone, like I've learned to be very cautious about what I tell people and advice that I give because I realize like people will listen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm just a
And then
drunk
the other
bartender.
person comes in and says, "What did you say to him?" Or you're like, "Whoa, hey."
You know, I didn't mean it. I mean, I did, but like only because you suck.
Siobhan said you're a dick.
They're like, did you say that? I'm like, I did. Yeah, I'll also just admit it.
And
Oh,
what?
did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. Maybe don't act like that.
You should ask me. I told him told you that they were an asshole.
Oh, how did you always keep, like, you're like me though, and you have kept your joy and you keep laughing about this shit. Like, did you always have that, or was it something that you learned?
I think it was more trial by fire at a young age. Like, like we touched on earlier, it's like, how do you want to feel about this?
Right.
I mean, you want to hate yourself forever? I was talking to Al about this earlier. And we were talking about, like, mostly men, you get these, you're a man with, like, midlife crisis and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's from, like, a lifetime of denying yourself, right?
Yeah.
In whatever shape that takes, the wife, kids, whatever. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm in my 50s and I haven't lived yet. So I got to get a Ferrari and get a divorce and get that, 20-something girlfriend. And it's like, you're making up for what you feel is lost time. I don't have that lost time.
Yeah.
I didn't feel beholden to anybody. And so that's part of it too. Nobody was relying on me. So I didn't feel like I didn't have to do anything. That's how I found my joy. By being
independent,
looking for uno nuno.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that has been like, now that I've talked to a couple of people, they've been like, I did it kind of on my own and I didn't have anyone to be beholden to, and it was the freedom of it.
Yeah.
It was no one is gonna. I don't have to take care of anyone else's feelings about what I'm doing.
And there's, like, no resentment because there's no one to resent.
Right.
It's like, oh, you took my 20s, or you
Yeah.
the best years of my life, blah, blah, blah. And our kids don't even talk to us anymore. So what was the whole point of that? Did it?
You don't have that.
Yeah. And I know it's not what most people want, but I've always known this is what I want.
Yeah. No, I think it is what people want. I think they're afraid to admit it. Right? Because, like, if you don't have anyone beholden to you, then are you lonely? Is, like, the fear, right? Or is there,
Again,
but I think
growing
that's
up broke.
all you ever had was you.
White boy in Oakland. Like, yeah, I mean, you learn to do for yourself, and I don't know. Yeah, being alone and being lonely are very different,
Right.
different experiences.
Yeah.
But if you, like, you think about my dad, he went from living with his parents to living with his wife.
Yep.
Zero time between. And then he had kids, and then our weird family dynamic that we had, and then boom, he moved in with his next wife. So, like, I feel like he was alone most of his life, lonely, surrounded by things that he really didn't want to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. When I moved out to California, it was the first time I'd ever lived alone, and it was a weird experience. And then I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like, and then I felt bad for enjoying it as much as I have.
Well, and that was another part I was going to get to, is like there's a lot of family pressure to get married and have kids and do all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, which I guess my family is a lot like me. They just way too involved in their own life to deal with. Like, what guilt? There's no guilt. No.
Yeah. No, I don't know how, like, there's so much guilt in my life from just my childhood and Catholic, and
My guilt is, should I eat the whole Ben and Jerry's? Those are single servings, right? I don't know. I take the cap off and I won't eat it again.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know where it went.
That's the main things I worry about.
Yeah. No, and I think that is something, like, to remind people is an option. Like, you don't have to live for and with everyone else. Like, you you can not be alone. You can be alone and not lonely.
And like, I'll see, people write things, or, and this is way before internets, when there was magazines, remember those? Like, people were like, oh, I finally got the courage to go to a restaurant and eat a meal by myself, or go to the movies by myself, or go to a bar by myself. I'm like, that's never been an issue for me, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, that sounds horrible. What, you can't leave the house unless you're meeting someone for a thing?
Right.
And the second they have to go, now you got to go, and what?
I have lived that life. Like, I have lived, like, especially because I've had on and off over the years such bad anxiety. Where, like, sometimes walking into a door by myself, like, I can't. I walked up to a door and totally turned around and walked away because I'm like, I can't. I'll have that.
I mean,
I don't have that.
People should feel safe wherever they go, and I understand that that's an issue as well.
It's not even about feeling safe though.
But for me personally, like, you know, I walk into a place and I feel uncomfortable, I'm not just going to turn. I will walk right up to that bar or whatever it is, participate, and if I don't feel comfortable and I want to be there, I will smile and walk out.
Right.
I'm not just going to turn tail the second I feel uncomfortable. And I feel like I've lived a better life for it, you know? Like,
No,
I've been in weird places where, like, that I would never seek to go to, but you find yourself in these places and you're like, wow, this is actually not as bad as I thought it might be, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, I applaud it, and I have gotten there for the most part now. But it's not about like I thought I would be unsafe. It's like just the anxiety of what's going to happen when I walk in, or like, will I know where to sit or who to sit next? It's like this flood of like thoughts and overthinking that flows over me that
That's
I then
wild to
can't
me because
control.
you're like one of the most confident people I've ever met.
It does. Fucking faking
It's all
it. No.
bravado? Okay, all right.
Not all of it, but a lot of it has been like just. I learned about exposure therapy really early. Like exposure therapy is one of the only things that can get you over your anxiety or your fears.
Like if you're afraid of bugs, eat a bug.
Yeah. Or like pet a bug, you know, that kind of thing. And so like I just have made myself continue to go to the things that scare me or like give me anxiety. So like when I first started back bartending, even at the Benton, every once in a while I would go to walk up to the door and I would just be like, fuck, I can't do this. And it would take all I have to go from the door to behind the bar.
Which is about 4 steps.
Yeah. And then I would get out back and like drop all my stuff and be like, all right, I did it. I can do this. Like I have it. I'm in control of this room. Like, and I would like have to talk myself back into it.
And it doesn't happen as much as to a certain degree as it used to, but like part of it is like, well, this goes to training. I know where the limes are. I know where this is. So I don't have to worry about any of that because it's already ready to go.
Yeah.
I will tell you though, oh my God. When I started working for Harley, I was working the parts counter and like everybody knew more than me. And these are a bunch of tough guys who will break your balls over nothing, right? I was so intimidated. I think it was 22, 23. And I knew nothing of this world. Like I knew the motorcycles that I worked on, nothing about anyways. So I'd have these crazy dreams where like I would wake up throwing out part numbers because it was so important to know, you know, you sell someone the wrong part, it could destroy their motorcycle, like that kind of stuff. It's like there was a lot of stress with that. And I had an anxiety dream last night about this where I couldn't get the customer what they needed. And it so translates to bartending. I mean, it's exactly the same job.
Right.
And I woke up in a cold sweat over it. I hadn't felt that since I was in my early 20s. I'm not just saying this because we're talking about it. This literally happened. And I woke up like, oh, like out of breath, like, whoa, my God, what was that?
And you're like, I haven't even done that job in 15 years.
Like I said, it's still kind of the same thing where like, you're like, hey, I need this. And then you go, you know, you get them what they need. And, you know, if it's wrong, you feel like a dick and, you know, or like you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Which I guess that never goes away. But the training helps, you know.
Yeah, it's like the muscle memory of it.
Yeah. And you can fake the rest of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I often do. Because it's funny, like I was talking to Holly and Danielle about something and I was saying something about anxiety and Holly was like, I never knew. And I was like, yeah, because I fucking hide it well. Like, because when I get to the door at work, like that's work. And so like I am supposed to be this thing. So like all of my shit has to like go in my pocket until I can deal with it later. Like I walk through that door and I'm supposed to be the happy-go-lucky bartender that's here to listen to all your shit. Like my stuff doesn't exist when I walk in there.
Yeah.
Like that's how I was raised. That's how I was trained to go to jobs. Like once you get to work, it's about work. It's not about you. It's not, your feelings don't matter. Your fucking bad day doesn't matter.
And unlike other jobs, that is our job.
Right. Like, so I don't bring my shit to work a lot. Like I'll talk about the good stuff, but I'm not like a bartender that's going to be like, I'm having a bad day. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm tired today, or like, you know, but I'll usually be like, I'm tired today because I was out partying last night. Like, you know what I mean? Like I change it.
So who could you be mad about that?
Right. Like I like make it into a joyous thing for someone else. Because you're coming to me to let go of your bad day. You're not coming to me to hear about my bad day.
Right. Their bad day started at 8 a.m. Ours did not.
Right. Sometimes mine does because I work too much. But it's my own fucking fault.
Yeah. So and that, you know, like I said, the path we chose, right? I mean,
right.
We could have done a lot of things.
Yeah. And I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Stevie. Well, let's go celebrate that we did it.
We got through it. I can't believe it.
We did. I learned a lot. I laughed a lot.
We laughed, you cried. I did anyways. But yeah. How about that?
Thank you for coming to sit down with me. Thank you for sharing some of your story with us.
Long overdue to do a proper sit down with you. We've definitely tried more than once and failed miserably. So yeah, I'm glad we got through this.
Yeah, me too. And thank you. And I'm sure you'll be back at some other point for some other stories.
Yeah, so I was inspired by one of your other guests. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 12 nights with Steve. Love you, Rory.
Roy in his 8-episode arc that he has planned. So
then
you're
I turned
12.
7.
It's really... He keeps saying to me, I'm ready, Siobhan, I'm ready. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then he'll be like, I'm busy, girl, I'm busy, but we'll do it. And then he'll text me thoughts and ideas.
Oh, wow.
So yes,
You get
Roy,
an outline.
An Evening with Rory will be back soon. It's been fun. Today, at one point, I was at the new gallery that is next door to Fireside, and Alameda Gallery and Collective. And I was talking to someone, and she's like, "Oh, I have a podcast," and we were and asking her all about it, and she's just starting it, and I was like, "I can't wait to listen." And she's like, "Oh yeah," and someone's like, "Oh, we have a podcast," and she's like, "Well, she does," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I do too," and I was like. I'm like, oh, yeah, I talk to people about their stories and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, she's been on it. I'm like, oh, actually, all 3 of them have been on it.
I'll put anyone on there. What's your first name?
And I was like, yeah, no, it's one of the fun things about my job is that I'm surrounded by so many interesting people and people that I talk to and like learn about so much every day that it's easy to have them come in and talk to me about whatever they're working on or whatever they're doing or just being in the bar life. I mean, we live a life that most people don't understand.
Yeah, I've mentioned before that, like, there's a whole community that starts at 2 a.m. that you'll never, ever know about.
Yeah.
Which, probably for good reason.
Yeah, if you don't know, you shouldn't know.
Well, I hope somebody got something out of this. Like you said, I don't really participate in this whole podcast thing, but, good for y'all that do.
Yeah. All right. Now on that note, we're leaving.
Wow.
I don't need you to bust my balls anymore. Yeah. I'm not into this podcast thing that you do, but whatever.
Whatever it is you do. No, I get it. People like it, and I get that.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I think the art of conversation like we have it is dying, right? Like we sit down and we talk to different people all day, different walks of life, different socioeconomical backgrounds. Like we talk to a spectrum of people every day, and not everyone does that. Like we talk to the people that we don't like. We talk to
and also those people, we get 15, 20 minutes of them times 10 over one day.
Right.
So we do have a unique perspective. I think that we can share.
Yeah, and I think that most people don't know how to. Most people are having such a hard, especially like younger kids are having such a hard time just being out in the world. And we are now the stewards of how to have a conversation, how to move through a world that doesn't have a lot of rules. Like you come into a bar, you mouth off to the wrong person, you could get popped. Like that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world anymore. And it shouldn't happen. Like violence is never the answer, but like you also have to know how to handle yourself in a lot of different situations.
Yeah. Well, and a lot that comes with respect. And, we had like basically a whole generation turn 21 on the same day.
Right.
And nobody taught them how to act. Nobody taught, usually you had an older brother and sister to teach you how to be in a bar or friend or whatever. Shame, it can be a good teacher sometimes. But if you never got it.
Right.
And like you said, it's our responsibility to get these kids on the right track.
Yeah. As elders and bartenders, it's our job to help them learn how to move through the world in a better way.
I will tell you, though, people knock the younger generations. I think they're doing a great job. I'm impressed.
I love hearing that.
I guess, and I'm not usually a super hopeful kind of guy, but like from what I've seen, like, and when you address an issue, it seems to be fixed. And,
Yeah, I think
you know,
they're open and they're receptive to learning.
yeah.
Which
I mean, and like you said, we can't be gatekeepers. You can't drop on them with both feet.
No.
I mean, it's like, hey, next time, maybe try this.
Yep.
And I've seen positive responses from that.
I have too, and I haven't always been the nicest about it. Sometimes I'm just Boston about it. And I'm like, I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you, like, and I'll be flat Affleck, like, I'm not amused and I don't find it funny and like, do better.
Yeah.
But I also like, I will take the time to at least explain to you why I'm like, dude, this is not cool.
Then this is something I've always kind of pride myself on. Like, I'll make sure if there is a problem to let that one person know.
Yeah.
I don't have to embarrass you in front of all your friends or anything like that. If you don't know, you don't know.
Right. Yeah. And
If it doesn't change,
then I'll embarrass you.
now we got a whole other conversation. Yeah, it's just little things, but you know.
All right. Well, let's go have a drink and see who we can embarrass.
Yes, let's do.
All right. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Go find some joy today. And maybe if you're on the island, you'll come visit me and Stevie.
Love to have you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.